Welcome, gents. You don't have to prove anything to anyone, just be unapologetically yourself. Most Sigma males don't realize just how rare they are. Why? Because they've spent their whole lives focused on being rather than proving. They don't crave validation, they don't bend to expectations, and they sure as hell don't change who they are just to be liked. But here's the problem. When you walk through life this way, it's easy to overlook your own value. You've probably been called too distant, too quiet, or too intense. Maybe you've even been made to feel like something is wrong with you just because you don't operate the way everyone else does. But here's the truth. The very things that make you different are the same things that make you a freaking catch. The world is drowning in people who chase attention, who crumble under pressure, who can't even sit alone with their own thoughts for 5 minutes. You're built differently. You're the kind of person who moves in silence but leaves an impact. You don't just adapt, you thrive where others break. This isn't about arrogance, it's about realization. You need to stop seeing yourself through the lens of a world that doesn't even understand your kind. So stick around. Because by the time you hear these 11 reasons, you won't just know you're a catch. You'll start moving through life like you finally believe it. Now let's get into it. Number 1, you see through BS like an X-ray machine. Most people walk through life blind. They take things at face value, believe what they're told, and never question the deeper motives behind people's words and actions. But you don't just see, you analyze, you dissect every word, every pause, every inconsistency. While others are nodding along, you're already 10 steps ahead, breaking down what's really happening beneath the surface. It's not something you try to do, it's just how your mind works. You hear the words, but you're listening for what's not being said. You see the smile, but you catch the flicker of hesitation in the eyes. You sense the energy shift in the room before anyone else even realizes something is off. And that's a skill most people wish they had. People might call you paranoid. They might say you overthink or that you're too skeptical, but let's be real. How many times have you felt something was off, only to be proven right later? Exactly. That's not paranoia, that's perception. And in a world where manipulation is everywhere, media, politics, fake friendships, shallow relationships, you being able to cut through the noise is an insane advantage. It means you don't fall for smooth talkers. You don't get played by fake charm. You don't waste years investing in the wrong people. While others are being fooled, you're silently watching, collecting data, and making moves accordingly. This ability makes you a nightmare for manipulators. They hate people like you because you don't react the way they expect. They throw bait and you don't bite. They spin a story and you poke holes in it with a single question. That's power most people don't even realize they need. So never doubt this part of yourself. It's not a flaw. It's a gift, one that keeps you ahead, protected, and in control, while everyone else is just trying to catch up. Number 2, you are your own backup plan, escape route, and safety net. Most people move through life with a built-in safety net. Family, friends, society, or a system that will catch them if they fall. They rely on backup plans that someone else created, expecting the world to step in and save them when things go wrong. But you don't live like that. You never have, because deep down you know, the only person you can truly count on is yourself. You don't wait for someone to rescue you. You don't assume help is on the way. You don't put yourself in a position where you need to be saved. Instead, you prepare. You build your own escape routes before you ever need them. You create backup plans before disaster even knocks. You see the risks before others even realize there's danger. That level of self-reliance isn't just rare, it's legendary. Because while others panic when life throws them a curveball, you already have a way out. When jobs are lost, relationships collapse, or the world turns upside down, most people break. You adapt, you shift gears, you move strategically, and you come out on top because you were never dependent on anything but your own ability to figure things out. That's what makes you unstoppable. You don't operate with blind trust. You don't hope for the best. You prepare for it and for the worst. You don't walk into anything without knowing exactly how you'd survive if it all fell apart. And here's the real kicker. This isn't about paranoia, it's about power. Because while others are still scrambling to put the pieces back together when life hits them hard, you're already 3 steps ahead, walking away from the wreckage untouched. That's why you don't fear failure. That's why you don't hesitate to take risks. Because no matter what happens, you will land on your feet, not because someone caught you, but because you built your own safety net long before you ever needed it. Number 3, you master skills in secret and unleash them when it's too late for others to compete. Most people make a lot of noise about their progress. They announce every little goal, every new project, every so-called grind they're on. They want applause before they've even accomplished anything. But you don't play that game. You move in silence. You learn, improve, and sharpen your skills behind closed doors so that by the time the world realizes what you've been up to, it's already too late to stop you. That's what makes you dangerous. You don't need validation. You don't need an audience while you're putting in the work. You'd rather perfect your craft in peace, away from the distractions, away from the doubters, away from the noise. Because when you're finally ready to step forward, you're not coming in as a beginner, you're stepping in as a force to be reckoned with. And the best part? No one saw it coming. While others were talking about what they planned to do, you were actually doing it. While they were showing off half-finished work, you were mastering yours in the shadows. So when you finally unleash what you've been building, there's no competition left. They're still preparing while you're already dominating. This isn't luck. This is strategy. A real Sigma male doesn't seek attention, he seeks results. He understands that the element of surprise is a weapon. By staying low-key, he eliminates distractions, avoids unnecessary competition, and catches people off guard when it really matters. And let's be honest, there's nothing more satisfying than seeing the shock on people's faces when they realize they underestimated you. That moment when they finally get it, that you weren't just sitting back, you were preparing, that you weren't inactive, you were calculating, that they didn't take you seriously and now it's too late for them to catch up. That's how you win. Not by talking, not by showing off, but by mastering, moving in silence and striking when the time is right. Number 4, you're not for everyone, and that's the whole damn point. Some people spend their whole lives trying to be liked by everyone. They soften their edges, dilute their opinions, and mold themselves into whatever version the crowd will accept. But you don't play that game. You know you're not designed to be universally liked, and you wouldn't want to be. Because being liked by everyone means you stand for nothing. You weren't meant to blend in. You weren't built to fit neatly into society's expectations. You move differently, think differently, and see through the illusions most people blindly accept. That alone makes certain people uncomfortable. And that's exactly how you know you're doing something right. See, weak-minded people fear what they don't understand. They prefer predictability, conformity, and a reality that doesn't challenge them. When you walk into a room, they can feel that you're different, and it either intrigues them or unsettles them. The right ones, they'll be drawn to you, inspired by you, maybe even transformed by you. But the wrong ones, they'll either try to change you or resent you for refusing to shrink yourself. And here's the brutal truth. That's not your problem. Your job is not to make people comfortable. Your job is to be real, to stay true to your path, no matter who doesn't get it. The people meant for you will recognize your value without needing it explained. The ones who don't, they were never meant to be in your circle anyway. So let them misunderstand you. Let them judge from a distance. You don't need mass approval. You need alignment with the right ones. And the moment you fully accept that, that's the moment you become truly unstoppable. Number 5, you're not afraid to be too much. Too intense? Too deep? Too opinionated? People love to throw around these labels when they meet someone who refuses to water themselves down. But you don't care. You've never been the type to shrink yourself just to fit into someone's weak expectations. And that's exactly why you're unforgettable. Most people adjust themselves like a radio dial, turning their energy down, smoothing out their rough edges, staying just agreeable enough to blend in. They fear standing out because they fear rejection, but you'd rather be too much than be a watered-down version of yourself. You say what you mean, you feel things deeply, you challenge ideas instead of just nodding along, and that shakes people to their core. Why? Because most people aren't used to realness. They're used to people playing it safe, avoiding confrontation and suppressing their true thoughts just to keep the peace. But when they meet you, they're forced to confront something raw, unfiltered, and unapologetic. Some will find it refreshing. Others will find it intimidating. And that's fine, because you were never meant for the weak-hearted. See, being too much isn't a flaw, it's a filter. It weeds out the people who can't handle depth, passion, or intensity. It separates the surface-level connections from the real ones. And the best part, the people who can handle you, the ones who embrace your energy instead of being scared by it, those are the ones worth keeping around. So let others stay small. Let them play the game of social approval. You? Keep being exactly who you are, with zero apologies. Because the truth is, people might not always like you, but they'll never forget you, and that's power. Number 6, you're not an open book, you're a locked safe. Most people can't help themselves. They meet someone new, and within minutes they're spilling their entire life story, past mistakes, future dreams, family drama, and everything in between. They crave connection so badly that they hand over their personal details like free samples at a grocery store. But you're different. You understand something most people don't. Mystery is power. You don't give people easy access to your thoughts, your emotions, or your next move. Not because you're hiding anything, but because you know that information is valuable and not everyone deserves it. While others rush to be understood, you let people wonder. And that makes you unforgettable. People are naturally drawn to what they don't fully understand. If someone can read you like an open book, they get bored fast. But when they can't quite figure you out, when they sense there's more to you, but they're not sure what, that's when curiosity kicks in. And curiosity keeps people intrigued. That's why your presence carries weight. When you speak, people listen, because they know you don't waste words. When you reveal something about yourself, it matters, because they know you don't do it lightly. This kind of restraint isn't just rare, it's magnetic. But here's what really sets you apart. You're not withholding information out of fear. You're doing it because you can. You control what people see, what they know, and how they perceive you. That kind of control isn't just a habit, it's a skill. One that keeps you protected, unpredictable, and always one step ahead. So don't let anyone convince you that being private is a weakness. In a world where everyone overshares, your ability to hold back is exactly what makes you stand out. Number 7, you've already won the battle. Most people are still fighting. Most people spend their entire lives chasing things they don't even understand. They're desperate for validation, constantly adjusting themselves to fit in, and terrified of being judged. They follow the script society handed them, get approval, follow the crowd, meet expectations. But you've already broken free. You've already won the battles they don't even realize they're fighting. Self-worth? You don't need anyone to tell you who you are. You don't wake up wondering if people like you. You don't base your value on status, trends, or shallow compliments. While others bend over backward for recognition, you move through life on your terms, not needing a round of applause for every step you take. That alone puts you miles ahead. Independence? You're not just financially independent or physically self-sufficient, you're mentally independent. You don't seek permission to live your life. You don't let opinions shape your choices. You don't hesitate to walk alone, because you know the only person responsible for your success is you. And that's a rare kind of freedom most people never achieve. Freedom from societal expectations. That's the real game changer. While most people are still trapped, trying to live up to someone else's definition of success, you're out here defining your own. You don't follow the usual timelines. You don't chase status symbols just to impress people. And you don't waste energy proving yourself to those who will never understand your mindset. That's why people don't always get you. They can't comprehend what it's like to not be shackled by insecurity, fear, or the need for approval. But here's the truth. They wish they could be like you. Deep down, they envy that kind of self-sufficiency, that level of confidence, that absolute freedom. So don't ever doubt where you are. You're not behind, you're ahead. And while most are still trying to figure out how to escape, you've already left the cage behind. Number 8, you have a prove yourself first mentality. Most people hand out trust like free samples at a grocery store, without thinking, without questioning, and without realizing how much damage it can cause. They let people in too fast, spill their secrets too soon, and assume that just because someone is nice, they're also trustworthy, and then they wonder why they keep getting burned. But you don't play that game. You don't just give trust. You make people earn it. You don't assume good intentions just because someone smiles in your face. You watch, you analyze, and you wait. Because you know that real character isn't revealed in words. It's proven through consistent actions over time. That filter alone saves you from 90% of the nonsense that drains other people. Fake friends, you spot them early. Manipulators, they can't break through your walls. Time wasters, you don't even let them in the door. While others are constantly dealing with betrayal, drama, and disappointment, you're out here moving with precision, only allowing in those who deserve a seat at your table. Some people might call you guarded, distant, or even cold. Let them. What they don't understand is that your trust isn't closed off. It's exclusive. You're not shutting people out for the sake of it. You're making sure that anyone who enters your world belongs there. And the best part? The people who actually earn your trust know its value. They respect it. They don't take it lightly because they understand that being in your circle is a privilege, not a right. So let the world hand out trust like candy. You keep making people prove themselves first, because in the end, you won't have to waste time cleaning up messes. You'll be too busy thriving with a circle of people who actually deserve to be there. Number 9, you don't just think differently, you are different. Some people try to be different. They force it, dressing a certain way, acting rebellious, or pretending they don't care about fitting in. But you don't have to try. You just are. The way you think, the way you move, the way you see the world, it's not something you copied from anyone. It's built into you. And that makes you a game changer. While most people follow the same predictable patterns, you question everything. You don't just accept the first answer, you dig deeper. You don't just follow trends. You observe them, break them down, and decide whether they even make sense. Where others see a straight road, you see alternate routes, hidden risks, and opportunities they'll never notice. That's why people don't always get you. You think 5 steps ahead while they're still trying to understand step 1. You challenge ideas that others accept blindly. You find solutions where they see dead ends. It's not that you're difficult, it's that your mind operates on a completely different level. And that's not just rare, that's powerful. Because in a world where everyone is busy copying, blending in, and thinking inside the same tiny box, someone like you is unpredictable. You move in ways they can't predict. You adapt in ways they don't expect. And when they finally realize how differently you operate, it's already too late. You've outpaced them without even trying. So don't ever dull yourself down just to make others comfortable. Your mind is a weapon, your perspective is an advantage, and the way you see the world, that's what sets you apart. It's not a weakness, it's your edge. Embrace it. Keep thinking differently. Keep being different. Because that's exactly what makes you unstoppable. Number 10, your focus is on building, not impressing. Most people are addicted to looking successful rather than being successful. They spend more time curating an image than actually doing the work. Flashy posts, fake flexes, empty achievements, all designed to impress people who don't even care. But you're wired differently. You don't waste energy trying to convince the world you're winning. You just win. While others are busy posting about their grind, you're actually grinding. You don't need applause for every little move you make. You don't seek validation for every step forward. Why? Because your focus isn't on looking impressive, it's on building something real. And that right there, that puts you leagues ahead. Because at the end of the day, all the noise disappears. The fake status symbols fade. The meaningless clout dries up. And what's left? Results. Tangible, undeniable, real results. And that's exactly what you're stacking while everyone else is chasing approval. You don't waste time competing in a popularity contest you never signed up for. You don't need a crowd to see your progress to make it valid. You know that true success isn't built in the spotlight, it's built in the silent hours when no one is watching. And the irony? The very people wasting time trying to impress others will one day look at you and realize that while they were chasing likes, you were building an empire. By the time they figure out that they should have been working instead of performing, you'll already be too far ahead to catch. So let them seek attention. Let them crave validation. You stay locked in, keep building, because in the long run, it's not the one with the most followers who wins, it's the one who built something so solid that even their silence speaks volumes. And number 11, you don't fear losing people, you fear wasting time. Most people stay in relationships long past their expiration date. They hold on out of fear of loneliness, fear of confrontation, fear of change. They convince themselves that a draining relationship is better than no relationship at all. But you don't operate like that. You're not afraid of losing people, you're afraid of wasting time on the wrong ones. The moment someone starts draining you, manipulating you, or taking more than they give, you cut them off without hesitation. No long debates, no over-explaining, no dragging things out just to make them comfortable. Because your time and energy are precious and you refuse to waste them on people who don't deserve them. That mindset isn't just rare, it's elite. Because while most people are stuck in toxic cycles trying to fix what's already broken, you're out here moving forward, keeping your circle clean and refusing to settle for anything less than mutual value. That's a level of self-respect that few people ever reach. And let's be real, this intimidates people. They're used to others clinging, begging, or tolerating disrespect just to keep the peace. They're not used to someone who can walk away without looking back. That's why they call you cold or heartless. But deep down, they know the truth. You're just stronger than them. Because here's the real kicker. When you're not afraid to lose people, you attract better people. You don't operate from desperation. You don't settle for half-hearted connections. And that means the people who stay in your life, they're there because they earned their place. So let others waste years on relationships that drain them. Let them fear letting go. You, keep valuing your time. Keep walking away from anything that doesn't serve you. Because in the end, it's not about who stays, it's about who deserves to. Final thoughts. Own who you are, because you're a rarity. If there's one thing you take away from this, let it be this. You are not just another person in the crowd. You are a walking contradiction to everything society tries to force on people. While the world pushes for conformity, you carve your own path. While most people crave validation, you thrive in your own self-sufficiency. And while others waste time proving their worth, you already know yours. That's not arrogance, it's clarity. Being a Sigma male means you don't beg, you don't chase, and you don't compromise your principles just to be accepted. And guess what? That makes you a freaking catch. Not because you follow the script society wrote, but because you tore it up and wrote your own. So if you've ever doubted yourself, if you've ever wondered why you don't quite fit in, good. You weren't meant to, and that's your greatest strength. The world is full of people desperate to be chosen, but you choose yourself first. And that energy, that confidence, that unshakable sense of self, it's what makes you undeniable. Now here's the deal. If you're ready to stop second-guessing yourself and fully own what makes you different, then you need to watch this video. Because once you see the truth laid out, no sugarcoating, no cliches, you'll finally realize that being a Sigma male isn't just a personality type, it's a power move. And you're already ahead of the game. Now it's time to start acting like it. Thank you for watching, gents, and God bless you.